Greetings to you wherever you're tuning in from. We really appreciate your support. You're now listening to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz, and my co-host, entrepreneur Breezy Gipson, is out for the moment, so Chick's flying solo in the coop. But, got another great show lined up for you as usual. And of course, it's going to be packed with music industry news. It's been a lot of stuff going on. And, of course, beats by yours truly. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and dip into that right after sending a super shout out to our home stations. Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Denver, Colorado. So, all right, let's go.
Music Radio Show with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson on Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Denver, Colorado.
With music industry news. First off, YouTube Music's listening room is supposed to be the new exclusive place to try experimental features. So basically what happened was the YouTube Music team went to Reddit to solicit user input for a beta program that they're calling the listening room. And so the users that are accepted into the program will be given early access to all the beta features and a free upgrade to the premium tier of YouTube Music. So they're giving them a private Discord community where they can interact directly with the YouTube Music team to kind of give feedback for what they think about it. So apparently, if you're interested in something like that, this particular portion was already closed down, but, just something to kind of keep an eye out for. So the fact that they went to Reddit specifically for this is kind of interesting. So if you're not there, hey, it might be a good place to be, so that way you can keep up with stuff like this and be aware of what's happening ahead of everybody else. All right, and 20 stream ripping sites were blocked in India, so this is kind of a big deal. because it's kind of hard to get that stuff shut down, but India was able to accomplish this. So a court there ordered internet service providers in the country to block their customers from accessing 20 stream ripping sites. So it follows the legal action, by the local record industry trade group. So it's a good, huge win for the music industry there to keep people from basically just ripping off music for free. So, there's always a lot of talk about how Apple Music or iTunes, when it started, kind of curbed a lot of that piracy that was going on. But, hey, it's still a major thing. It's still happening. And this is definitely a win to try to keep that from happening so much. All right, next in the news, the SoundHound has raised $25 million just 2 weeks after they axed 40% of their workforce. So they went public back in April last year after closing a $2.1 billion merger with a SPAC, which is a special purpose acquisition company. In case you've missed some of those episodes where we broke this down a little bit, it's an easy way for companies to be able to go public so they can be traded on stock exchanges. So, it's kind of unfortunate that they had to lose so many of their staff after, before getting this huge influx of cash. But of course, anytime you see that happening, it's usually because they're trying to please the investors and make themselves look more appealing. So, depending on how you feel about that, even though that's kind of a sad situation there, that means that they're open for investing. So if you're one of those people that's kind of been looking for something to put your money into, I'm not recommending them specifically. Always make sure you do your due diligence, check out what they've got going on first. But hey, there's some info for you. All right, and the Department of Homeland Security proposes some steep rate hikes for artist visas. The O-type visa petitions would increase 260% from $460 all the way up to $1,655. So this also includes an asylum program fee, and the P-type petitions would increase 251% from $460 to $1,615, and this also includes the same asylum program fee. So it's a huge hike to some of our listeners that are outside of the U.S. This is something that you definitely need to be aware of if you're planning to come over here and travel and do some shows and whatnot. So definitely got to kind of up the budget a little bit. It's unfortunate because there's been some changes to visas and whatnot kind of all over the world, and as artists, especially touring artists, there's so many costs that are incurred already, and so now this is just kind of piling on. But hey, at least you've got a heads up. Still come and see us in the US. We're sorry that this is happening, but yeah, make sure you come and spread your talent with us anyway. Just be prepared to pay a little bit more for it. Reservoir has struck a catalog deal with rock and roll legend Dion. So the deal includes Dion's entire publishing catalog, future works, and sync rights to his recording masters. So he's released over 40 albums and earned 39 top 40 hits, as well as 11 top 10 Billboard Hot 100 hits. So that's a really impressive catalog. But, as often as we share some of these catalog deals, most of them don't include future works. So it sounds like he's inevitably kind of gotten into a completely different kind of record deal. So, just something to be aware of and pay attention to with the new year coming. And, they kind of warned that some of these deals would be slowing down, but so far they haven't. But maybe they're doing things like this as far as including future works to make it more lucrative for the companies that are doing the investing. So just something to kind of keep an eye on. We'll see if this is a future trend, but my guess is yes, it is. And there's a new guitar exhibit at Ford Museum that highlights the instrument's history, including strong ties to West Michigan. And yes, I'll say it, even though it says West Michigan, it's specifically Kalamazoo as well. There's going to be 40 different kinds of instruments in the exhibit, including one of the world's most famous guitar companies, Gibson, which was founded in Kalamazoo back in 1902. So yeah, for any of our listeners that might be new or may have missed, I'm from Kalamazoo, so I definitely think this would be a good exhibit to check out if you're in the Grand Rapids area, or even if you want to kind of make a journey. If you're looking for a reason to get out this way to West Michigan, that's a good opportunity. All right, Google has created an AI that can generate music from text descriptions, but it won't release it. So Music LM was trained on a data set of 280,000 hours of music to be able to generate songs for descriptions of significant complexity. So even if the descriptions kind of meander and people are just typing in whatever, it's still supposed to be able to capture the nuances, like even instrumental riffs, melodies, and moods. So apparently this is so powerful that they're kind of afraid to release it, even though that's their stance right now. I'm pretty sure, things will most likely change, because we've been hearing so much about AI, and especially in music. I feel like it's more of a way for them to kind of ease the general public into it. So for them giving us what they're kind of calling, just this info, hey, we have this, we can do this, but we're not going to do anything with it, you better believe that that's definitely a warning. So, call it a hunch if you want, but just something to kind of be aware of. Another problem with this, or potential problem with this, could be with the data set that they've used, those 280,000 hours of music. Whose music was it? What were they doing to be able to feed this to that? And that means that those people should be compensated. So yeah, my guess is that's really what the delay is on releasing this. But hey, we'll see what happens in the future. And Rick Astley is suing rapper Young Gravy over the Never Gonna Give You Up sound-alike. So the complaint says that with Young Gravy using Betty Get Money, that sound-alike in that song, it violated Astley's right to publicity by featuring the singer Popnik, who imitated Astley's voice so well that listeners actually thought that it was him. Well, his lawyer actually represented Marvin Gaye's family against the whole Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams over the Blurred Lines song. So, hey, if that's his lawyer, he's probably got a really good chance of winning. But, hey, we'll keep you posted as we get more info. All right, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be right back with more music industry news after this.
Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson on the Music Marvels Radio. Hey fam, this is Breezy Gipson from the Breeze team. How would you like to see an online platform that brings you people who've already indicated that they're interested in your particular type of business? Whether it's your music you're selling, hip-hop clothing, you got a restaurant or a cafe, or if you're an entrepreneur or agent for a business. Visit me at breeze2cheese.com. That's using the number 2, breeze2cheese.com, or click my bio link on my Instagram profile to see a live demo of how this can help you get more customers and make more money.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen. All right, we're back with more music industry news. Universal Music's EMI Records has launched a new Leeds-based sub-label called EMI North. So they've partnered with a non-profit music development organization already, that aims to support marginalized community, calling it Come Play With Me. So yeah, they hit the ground running and can't wait to see what new stuff that comes forth from this new venture here. All right, Warner Music Group has announced the launch of Rhythm City, which is its first persistent music experience on Roblox. So we've shared before that they've had concerts and all sorts of things going on that have been kind of popular. So now they've worked with GameFam to create a unique experience that combines key gaming elements with what they're calling the magic of music. So you could choose from roles including music producer, DJ, dancer, and they say there's a lot more to kind of explore. You can dance and bond with friends while enjoying hidden gems within the world and competing in many music challenges as well. So in addition, Rhythm City will host virtual concerts and events featuring select artists from Warner Music Group. So it sounds like something pretty exciting. You know, if you're one of those people that's kind of already tapped into the metaverse and the Roblox world specifically, there's some more goodies coming up. And if it's something that you've been interested in, this might be a good way to try to experience that. So, you know, we know a lot of these things kind of have been propelled. They've already existed, but once COVID hit and, you know, there was lockdowns, there were so many different ways that people were trying to look to be able to connect and bond with other people, and this seems to be one of the good ways to do it. And as we'll discuss a little bit later, at some point, you know, things have kind of been changing within the music industry as far as live shows go. So, you know, it's been said multiple times here on this show even that we're gonna see more of a hybrid of things going forward. So, you know, a lot of people kind of got used to sitting home watching stuff as opposed to going out and trying to worry about parking and even paying for refreshments and all that other stuff. So, you know, we might still kind of continue to see this half and half thing going, and so it's definitely a good thing to have more opportunities available there. And Warner Music Group has been pretty busy because they're set to debut the world's biggest demo drop DJ contest in the Sandbox metaverse. So 5 DJs and music producers have a chance to launch their careers on the various platforms, including one of the leading decentralized virtual worlds, Spinning Records. They encourage new DJs to submit their best demos for a chance to win an official Spinning Records or Music Freedom release. So far there have been over 2,000 demos submitted, so you better get in there before they actually close if that's something that you're interested in. And as we were just mentioning earlier, music financing, the boom has kind of reverberated to the market. So these investments that the companies are doing, some of them are able to repurpose this so that way they can get investors as well. And so now the markets are kind of starting to reflect that, and we might see some more changes as far as that goes, because now investors can kind of speculate on which songs are going to be heading to the top of the streaming charts based under plans that are being developed by a startup out in Chicago that wants to launch a futures market specifically for music revenues. So futures, you know, if you're kind of aware with that, you're basically kind of betting, okay, this is what's going to be hot. And so with them providing this opportunity, it's a good way for you to be able to get in on the financing portion of it if you want to kind of make some money. But once again, you know, these aren't specific recommendations. Always make sure that you check things out thoroughly before putting your money behind it. But yeah, the company is actually called Cloudy, and so they've created the tradable index of global streaming sales, and they're looking to go ahead and do some exchange traded launching futures linked to individual genres, artists, and songs. So even if you're like, hey, you know what? I'm noticing that these Afro beats are getting really, really popular. I think I want to invest in that. This would actually make it easier for you to be able to do so. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. We'll give you more information about Cloudy as we get it, and that's Clouty, just in case you want to check that out on your own. All right, artists and industry trade groups have released a joint statement following the whole Live Nation Ticketmaster Senate hearing. So, you know, if you did check that out for yourself, you know, that's one thing. Of course, they got grilled, which is, you know, something that was kind of expected, but it doesn't really mean much until things actually change. So the Future of Music Coalition and the Artists' Rights Alliance the American Association of Independent Music, the Music Workers Alliance, and the Union of Musicians and Allied Workers note that Ticketmaster isn't the only company in the industry that's using unfair business practices. And so they basically call on lawmakers to kind of dig deeper and scrutinize some other aspects of it as well, including the secondary market for tickets. So yeah, people are tired of somebody snatching them up before they can get them and then charging an astronomical fee for it. So yeah, something's definitely got to give. It's got to change, and hopefully we're on the path to seeing that, and we'll definitely keep you posted as things develop. Universal has partnered with Tidal to develop, quote unquote, a more artist and fan friendly streaming model. So UMG and Tidal say that they're going to research how music services and platforms can generate greater commercial value for every type of artist by harnessing fan engagement. So basically, those people that you're really into, that you love to listen to, it should be a better experience for you and the artist, because I mean, they're putting the music there for you to enjoy, but not necessarily getting fairly compensated for it. So they're aiming to kind of change all that, and by doing that, also generating more subscribers to these platforms, so that way there's more money to go around for all of us. So we'll see what they come up with. And they definitely need to do something that's more artist-centric, because we're the content creators. We're the ones that are actually bringing in the advertising dollars. They wouldn't be able to sell advertising or subscriptions without us actually providing the content. So yeah, it's about time for some stuff to change, and I hope that their research actually serves us well. And Spotify paying subscribers has reached 250 million as of Q4 of last year. So it's up by 10 million on the previous quarter, which was higher than they were actually anticipating. So the 14% year-over-year growth landed 3 million above the company's guidance across all regions, with Latin America as the front runner. So, that's a big deal. We've been talking about the boom and the popularity of the music, and so it's definitely reflecting that in these numbers. So Spotify says that some of this growth is because they've kind of basically driven more promotional efforts to try to get more people to come in. They're saying that it's working, and more people are actually buying household plans, so not just individual ones. So that's always a win, only if that money trickles back down to the artists. So with Spotify seeing this recent boost of success, hey, hopefully that means more payout to the artists, but we'll see. And live music at UK grassroots venues is still below pre-pandemic levels. So, this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier, but last year the number of gigs at UK grassroots music venues was 16.7% lower than it was in 2019 before all the shutdowns. So audience numbers were at 89% of their 2019 levels at about 22 million, according to Music Venues Trust. So, of course, we've got all this stuff going on that happened ever since the pandemic, but inflation, soaring bills, and changing audience habits have contributed to the decline. So, as I mentioned, a lot of people are opting to stay home. So, there's something to kind of be aware of, even though this report is specifically for the UK. We've seen some of this happen on a larger scale in other areas. So, just something to kind of be aware of. Not as many people are coming out. Don't take it personal if you have a show and you're expecting it to be more packed. But hey, maybe that's an opportunity for you to do some of these virtual performances as well. So that way the people who prefer to stay at home can still check your music out and attend maybe virtual shows that you put on. All right, and finally, after reaching the milestone of 60 million creators, BandLab has acquired the beat marketplace called Airbit. So Airbit has over 800,000 users and sold over 2 million beats, and they said that they've helped producers earn more than $50 million to date. So BandLab intends to keep Airbit's staff on as part of the acquisition, with the CEO just kind of hanging on for a little bit until the transition period, and then that CEO will step down. So yeah, always new things happening, mergers, acquisitions, catalog purchases, all that good stuff. So we hope you find this information helpful. Hopefully you can grab some nuggets that you can use to help boost your music career. All right, we're going to take another quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be back before we head out for the night. does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we appreciate you for tuning in. We love the feedback that we've been getting. We hope that you continue to share us with your friends. And, super huge shout out to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Denver, Colorado. And, hey, we couldn't do it without any of you, so we really appreciate you. And we hope that you'll tune in and join us again next week. You know exactly where to find us. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.